Y'all, we thought it mighta, coulda, shoulda, woulda gotten better. Unfortunately, a whole other can of worms has opened up. If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And y'all know that I am here to put you on. And we are back to talk The Curious Case of Natalya Grace, the final chapters, part 1 and 2, which aired last night on Investigation Discovery, which will be all out on Max today, January 7th, 2025. Now, y'all listen. If you didn't catch the live that we did just a few short days ago, discussing the first 2 seasons of The Curious Case of Natalya Grace, please go check that out, run it up. It was a good time. I even have uploads from last year. And we will be live again this Friday to talk the final chapters. But y'all, I don't know how to feel about all of this. So as we know, if you watch the original documentary, that season 2 ended off on a crazy note, right? We thought we were leaving off on a high, honey. The Manses family had adopted Natalya Grace, doing an adult adoption, which I side eye, because what's your motivation? Do you want to be her power of attorney? Do you want to be her proxy? And what we later discover, oh, y'all wanted to be the payee. Knew the Mans were a little shady, right? But what was uncovered potentially in this, to me, was next level. Next level. So we know that they did the adult adoption. Everything was all well and good till them last 2 minutes, where we hear Bishop Mans call into the producers and say, Natalya is tripping. This is a new low. No, he didn't say tripping. He said tweaking. This is a new low, okay? She's done some stuff in the past, but this is too much. She done betrayed her family. She going to hell with gasoline panties on. All of the above were said. And so now we're entering into the final chapter, the episode 1, and we discover that Bishop Antoine Mans is the one who wanted to do this on camera. Now, I knew he wanted to be on camera. I didn't know if it was because of that church. I don't know if it's because he just wants a little bit of notoriety. I don't know what it was, right? But we knew that there was an ulterior motive outside of just Natalya. I want to preface this by saying this, okay, before we get all into the thick of it. I don't know what's true and what's not as it relates to the allegations that were made. There's a lot of accusation without a lot of proof. Okay, I want to put that out there immediately. And I want to also say that these things that I'll talk about are alleged. I don't know. I thought they were shady. I didn't know it was to the extent that they're talking about in this show. And the show really hasn't proven that just yet either. But something's amuck. That's undeniable, right? And so as we open this episode, they're basically telling the producers, you need to help Natalya find an apartment. We're done with her. We are through with her. She got this man in the UK, which for whatever reason, they're blurring out his face. Why are y'all blurring out his face? Help me understand that. He's a grown man. You didn't show plenty of minors on the first 2 seasons. So why is it problematic to show this man in the UK who is carrying on this conversation with Natalya, who, by the way, for all intents and purposes, is grown, okay? And so we discovered that Natalya's told the boyfriend how terrible the Mans are. They're keeping her trapped there, that she's a part of a cult. They won't let her go. And so eventually they confront her. Natalya repents, apologizes, and they say she's welcome back into the family. Well, we discover that allegedly the Mans have a super long history of taking in disabled children to collect their checks, allegedly, and collecting other people's kids at the same time. It's a lot going on, a lot of allegations. Again, they said that they have money. Now, I wanted to know where the money was in the room with us. I didn't know if it was in the room where we were folding clothes. I didn't know if it was in the room where Natalya was staying. I don't know if it was in the basement, in the 5-seater church. I wanted to know where the money was, all this money, because allegedly they're making close to 6 figures or more every year with these 50-11 children and the foster situation, okay? And so, you know, they said, no, we've made amends. We're fine. Natalya's very repentant. You know, I'm sorry. I betrayed my family, but she's back now. And Cynthia Mans is like, that's my child. I know I didn't give birth to her, but I love her. Okay. Enter the DePauls. Now, the DePauls are, I believe, the first family who had Natalya when Natalya came to the States. and quickly got rid of her. In the early part of the documentary, I believe this is the family that said she had done something to their daughter, right? And they're saying a whole different story now. They said they haven't seen Natalya in 15 years, but after they saw everything that happened on the first part of the docuseries, they are back in her life and they are her lifeline and they want to rescue her. At least Nicole is saying that. That's the wife, DePaul, right? The husband, on the other hand, is like, leave that where it is. We don't know Natalya. She ain't had no evaluation. Clearly, she's been through a lot. I don't know if I'm ready to welcome her back into the fold. Clearly, this is motivated out of some, I don't know if it's around the past. I don't know. My question about to the DePauls would be, why now? Why now? Why now? Why not when she's 7 through 9 years old, living on her own in an apartment, re-aged? Did we not step in? But now that she's a grown adult with more agency than she's ever had. You know what I mean? It's just very interesting. And I'm like, are they on here just to be a part of the show? I don't know. I don't know if it was guilt. I don't know what their motivation is, but I just find it odd that you're coming back all of these years later, right? And so they're conversing with her because the Mans have taken away all of Natalya's access to the public, right? No social medias, no phone, no laptop, no internet. They cutting it all off because Natalya can't be trusted. And my thing is, Natalya is grown. At this point, she's what, 21, 22, 23 years old? Again, with more agency than she's ever had. I don't see the problem if she wanted to have a little boyfriend. And they say that based on their beliefs in their church, it's courting. It's got to be someone that she's equally yoked with in the church. Okay. Right. During all this time, they talk about they had a deliverance service for Natalya, and she threw up 3 times. Now, I believe that deliverance is needed at times, and I do, but I don't know about these practices. And again, I don't know about this man's family. So again, we find out the DePauls are outraged. How could Cynthia do that? Cynthia wouldn't even let her talk to Natalya, I guess many years ago. And so Nicole's just got her butt on her shoulders, cussing and fussing, and is ready for Natalya. They concoct this plan to spirit Natalya away during a church service because they're still corresponding with her via a learning app that you can message in. I guess the boyfriend is still corresponding with Natalya and they're corresponding with Natalya through this. They're going to spirit her away from a church service, bring her to live with them, and the rest is going to unfurl. So while that's happening, we are getting all of these behind the scene interviews from people who lived in the same neighborhood as the Mans, who've worked with the Mans, whose kids have been with the Mans, and they are speaking all manner of evil against the Mans. We meet I don't know, apostolic Pentecostal woman that apparently had a double wedding with the Mans and said Antoine always had a little church, okay? He always had anger management issues. He's always been problematic. Then on the other side of that, we find out that Cynthia had a daycare, and honey, they say allegedly she was beating people's kids. Not letting people's kids go to the bathroom. Again, all kinds of crazy things. And of course, as soon as this comes out, as soon as the producers intervene to help Natalya get placed, I guess, with housing, the Mans have changed their story, and now they don't want to come and address any of the foolishness that's been talked about. And I wouldn't either. And I feel, well, I mean, if I was them, I wouldn't either, because they give guilty for whatever reason. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying it gives guilty, and that's how it's reading. And I think this plan of theirs backfired. I believe they went into this thinking they were going to get a platform, they were going to get notoriety, and it was going to be a good thing. And it is completely blown up in their faces, right? And so, again, these first 2 episodes, it's really us diving deep. We get witness accounts, honey. We meet the one lady who looked like she had damn Stockholm syndrome when she was given the interview, talking about they are good people. They're raising her kids. She lived with the Mans, with Natalya. And so on the screen interview, she's saying all the good things about him, baby. But then the producers play the call that she initially made. And this lady's saying that they didn't throw Natalya down the stairs. They beat the brakes off Natalya. We get to meet her toothless husband. And he's saying the same thing. The Mans are terrible. It's a cult. He went down to the basement and saw them beating, Natalya. Now, my thing is, again, all of you grown A people, if you witness the Mans abusing all these children on multiple occasions, Why now are you stepping up and saying something? The producers state they reached out to local law enforcement, CPS, all of that, and they can't really release any information. But I don't know. Are they investigated? They say they've been raising kids for 15, 20 years. They didn't had all the kids for 15, 20 years. So Natalya's gone now. They discovered that she's gone. The DePauls are looking like we might have bitten off more than we can chew. Absolutely. You think? Again, because what was your motivation? Get her to be her own payee, get her resources, find her a place of her own. Again, she has more agency to live on her own now than she ever did before. Find her something that can accommodate her, but why would you consider moving her in your house? You don't know. None of us know Natalya. None of us know Natalya. Nicole with her big and bright ideas. Again, I just want to know the motivation. I want I want a reliable source to come. I want to see paperwork on the Mans. And because you can't really hurl these accusations without foundation. Again, my discernment never fails me. Something has never been right with them, but what is the extent of it? Even when we're listening to Natalya as she is with the DePauls, you know, Nicole is going in on Cynthia and Antoine and all of that. And she's like, no, don't do that. Natalya steps in, no, don't do that. They didn't do that to me. I honestly think Natalya want to see her boyfriend. I think Natalya wants some autonomy and to see her boyfriend. I don't think she hates the Mans. But clearly there is a level of mind control, baby, because when they call, they ask, are you going to keep us the payee? And she says, yeah. So basically she over there, no money, no stamps, no nothing, fully going to be relying on Nicole and the DePaul family, which y'all bit that off. Y'all get what you pay for. And they're going to keep receiving her money. To what end? I think, and this is just my personal opinion, Natalya needs a third-party advocate to step in, ordered by the court potentially, to help her have more independence as it relates to her finances, her living situations, all that, once she has had a thorough and comprehensive psychological assessment and exam. There should be no good reason on earth I have not heard about her being in some sort of intensive counseling or treatment situation. Now, I will say that in these first two parts, the people did mention that they've made mental health services available to her. However, I don't know. We hear from Michael, honey. Michael had to make a cameo, and for what? For why, Michael? You look crazy. The beard looks crazy. The sideburns still look crazy. I don't know why you're here or why we needed to see you, but alas, he was talking about, you know, I don't know. Bishop seems shady to me too. Michael, you're shady as well. Kettle, black, sir, because what are you doing here? And, you know, child, that was kind of it for the first two episodes. Like the things that mainly stood out to me. I'm interested to see more witness accounts because, like I said, the one lady whose kids they currently have looked like a survivor of something, and I don't know what the people got on her, but baby, she was up there with a whole different story when the cameras were rolling. You guys drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think of part 1 of the final chapters. Don't forget, this Friday we will be live to discuss this ad nauseum, and it's going to be a good time. But if you're still here and you watch this entire video, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things for your growth, okay? And yeah, and thank you guys so much. I hope you're having an amazing new year so far. It's only up from here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.